Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now this is a video that I've been looking at doing for quite some time now, and what we're going to be doing is looking through every single figure in my history collection. So without further ado, we'll get straight into it. Just a quick note as well, if I do get any of these figures wrong, apologies, feel free to correct me in the comments. I'll try my best, but naturally I am likely to get some wrong. But yeah, let's go. So first up we have the M40 German Kar-98 infantryman. And then following him we have the military police version. Then next we'll move on to the swamp camo. So first we've got the MP40 NCO. And then following that we've got the Kar-98 version. And they also have the swamp helmets to match. Next up we've got the MG Gunner, I believe this time with a netted printed helmet. And then finally we have I think this is the MG Assistant with the ammunition belt and a grenade tucked in there, and he comes just with a chipped style helm. Following that we'll move on to the Panzer Lehr. So we've got this, I think it's a lieutenant with the MP40 pouches and the binoculars, and he's got the officer's cap there as well. And then following him we have a regular Kar-98 Panzer Lehr with the field cap, I believe that's called. Following on, just another Kar-98, this time with a few different accessories, and he has the weathered style helm. And then next we have a third Kar-98, this time with a splinter helmet and a couple grenades, a couple stick grenades there, and a couple smaller grenades just below his belt. Next up is the Gewehr 43 rifleman. Nice printed helmet with this guy, and actually a United Bricks head. And then following that we've got the STG 44. This guy comes with a shovel, which you can see just there. Next we have a regular MP40 Panzer Lehr with a cap and a reverse head. Actually, I need to swap that head out at some point. Following this we have an MG Gunner. So you can see he's got the box there for, I believe, ammunition. Could be a map, could be all sorts, not too sure. He's got a United Bricks bandaged head on him and a printed helmet. And then we've got the MG Assistant, and this guy comes with the ammunition draped around his neck, printing on the front and back there. Then continuing on with the last few Panzer Lehr, we have this guy who, he might be the lieutenant actually, I'm not too sure, just based on the tie. Let me know in the comments if you do know. He's got the splinter mask on his face, so pretty nice figure. Then we've got the medic. He has the dead head, which, if I can get the helmet off, you can see has a bullet hole just in between the eyes. He comes with his sort of pouches on the front, and then the usual torso. Cool little strap to indicate he is a medic as well. And then I believe this is the tanker figure, giving him the tanker's cap as well. I've given him the Luke Skywalker head from the old Star Wars figures, so pretty cool. So from this stage you'll be able to kind of see at least the front row figures that we're going to be looking at. Next up we have the Kharkov Parker figures. This is a PPSH 41 guy, as you can see by the ammunition pouches. He comes with a winter wrap head and a splintered battle damaged helmet. Can't think of the word, chipped, there we go. This is again weathered helmet, winter wrap head. This is the G43 or Gewehr 43 rifleman guy. So yeah, pretty cool. These are for winter scenes as well. They've got snow on the boots. And then we've got some of these M44 uniform Germans. So they've got the camouflage sort of smocks on the back there as well, rolled up and ready to be used. This is the STG 44, also comes with binoculars on the front. Then we've got the Kar98 version. Now these look pretty nice with the camouflage helmets, I think. So we'll definitely be looking at getting some of the new ones that TMC have released and adding these. So yeah, that's the Kar98 guy. Then we've got another Kar98 guy, but with a pair of binoculars. So nice bit of variation to the minifigures there, just so if you wanted a load of riflemen, you don't get the same figure sort of 5 or 10 times over. This is the MP40 figure, very similar on the back to the others, if not exactly the same. Another STG-44 soldier, this one with a shovel, and I've given him a sort of rusted helmet, which I think looks pretty cool actually, especially for late war minifigures when they're kind of running out of proper equipment and need to make the most of whatever it is they've got. This is a PPSH guy as well. He's got the sort of iron cross to indicate that he's done something, or he's a veteran or that sort of thing. And then the oak leaf helmet on this guy I think works pretty well. And then moving on to a couple tankers. We have the autumn oak leaf figure here. Again, no head on this one, so apologies for that. And a similar story. This is the summer oak leaf, I believe. But yeah, need to get a head for each of those two. Then we're moving on to some Italians. So first up, we've got just a standard sort of Panzer Lehr Italian. I've given them the Russian helmets as that was the sort of closest thing I could find. And again, this guy here just has a couple ammo pouches on the front. Wasn't really sure what head to give him, so I went with the moustache one. I think it works pretty well. And then moving on from there, we're actually looking at some allies now. So we'll start off with the Desert Rats, which these kind of British soldiers are colloquially known as. So from the North Africa campaign, they have the arm printing to show that their sleeves are sort of rolled up, which I think looks really nice. And then this is the kind of the standard guy. This is exactly the same, but with a pair of binoculars, same on the back as well. And then moving on, we've got a couple sort of regular uniform, I suppose, not for the desert, just for Western Europe or Greece or wherever it was they were fighting. So yeah, pretty nice figure there. That's the standard one. Then we've got this one with the, I guess you call it iconic gas mask over the front. I think a lot of people, well, at least I do, think of Dunkirk when I see this sort of figure. So yeah, fairly iconic. And then we're moving on to the SAS, I believe these are. So I don't think they're actually airborne. They're SAS, unless the SAS are airborne. Shows my lack of knowledge, but yeah, this is the Bren Gunner, I believe. These helmets are actually made by TMC as well, so they're pretty nice. That one's just fallen off, as you can see. But yeah, this is one of the standard ones. A really nice camouflage pattern on these. I think it looks really cool. Hopefully they release a few more of these in future, as it would be cool for those that didn't get them all initially to have another chance to get them. This is the Panzer Lehr version, so yeah, not really anything to add there. Then next we've got a couple French soldiers, starting with the infantryman, who, as you can see, has no head or helmet. I believe they're early war soldiers. I know obviously France wasn't in the war as a singular fighting force for very long, comparatively, but yeah, I believe these are early war soldiers, and this is obviously an officer. You can see by his tie and his pistol. But yeah, really nice figures. Do like the French ones, and would like to get a few more. Then on some Americans. These are the late war Americans. So this is the Thompson SMG. Nice to see a knife and a grenade on him there. So yeah, really nice figure. I do like the colour that they've gone for on these. I think it looks really nice. And yeah, we've got the Panzer Lehr version here. You can see the sort of knife or dagger tucked into his boot there, which is a nice detail. And then the last one of these I've got is just the regular M1 Garand variant. And then sticking with the Americans, we've got some of these assault vest minifigures, which I believe are based on the soldiers that fought on the beaches at D-Day. In particular from the movie Saving Private Ryan, as they did release heads which match characters from the film. So I believe this is, I think he's called Mellish. Those that have seen the film will know what I'm talking about. If not, if you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. It's a great film, and yeah, definitely worth a watch. And then we've got some standard US infantrymen. So these will have been those that fought in Western Europe 1944 and I suppose 1945 as well. Nice printed helmet on him. And then we've got these frogskin Americans. So these are from the Pacific Theatre. Again, the Pacific is a really good series if you've not seen that, based on kind of the island hopping American campaign against Japan in the Pacific Theatre. So this is the MG version of that. This is another Pacific-based American. I think this is a corpsman. He's got the nice sort of frogskin camo on the legs there, shrapnel print on the helmet. And then the order's a bit messed up here, apologies, but this is another of the Americans from the European theatre from sort of 1944 onwards. This is the BAR, or the BAR, I believe. Could be the M1 Garand and the other one's the BAR. Not too sure without checking. I'm sure you'll know though. Polish figure here from the early war, sort of 1939, right at the beginning of the war. Really nice figure. And there's actually a second variant of this guy. So again, some of these need a dust actually. Apologies for that, but yeah, this guy's also got a shovel on his leg. And yeah, just some sort of equipment on the back. Sticking with the theme of the Allies though, we've got this Russian minifigure. Now I believe we're getting into the Superior Shindig minifigures now, so those of you who participated in the event will know what that is. It's an event that the MinifigCo ran I should say, in around November of 2022. They released a load of exclusive minifigures, so we'll be looking at some of these now. So this is just your sort of standard Russian, or Soviet I should say, infantryman. We've got the, I think it's a DP-28 machine gun drum here, and a nice printed helmet as well. And then these next two figures aren't Shindig figures, they're just standard minifigures that were released. So yeah, you've got this Soviet guy with the olive coloured camouflage, I believe they're sappers, and then exactly the same minifigure, but this time in dark tan. So back to the Shindig figures. A bit of World War One now. We've got a British World War One rifleman, printed helmet as well. Really nice figure. Really glad I managed to get one of these. And then a French World War One rifleman. Now I think it would be cool if TMT were to release some World War One minifigures as kind of non-event exclusives. My collection is fairly lacking, and I think, yeah, it's something that definitely I'd like to see, and I'm sure a lot of others would like to see as well. But yeah, in that vein, we've got a few more Shindig figures here. So back to World War II, we've got this Winter German, so a full kind of body Winter Parker there, as opposed to the ones we looked at earlier, which were just the top half of the winter camouflage. Then we've got the Kar 98 variant here. And this guy is the MP40 version. Really nice printed helmet. Can't knock these at all. And then back to the front, sticking with the Shindig figures for now. We have the Liebermuster, I believe they're called. I won't say it again because I'm probably butchering that. This is the Kar 98 version. Then we've got the STG-44 variant. They come with these really nice printed helmets as well, which, yeah, I'm a big fan of. And again, we've got this historically inaccurate, but I mean, it's Lego, it's fun. Yeah, the reason being he's got STG and MP40 pouches. I mean, it could have happened if the soldier was potentially dual wielding or just holding ammunition, but yeah, unlikely, but still a fun minifigure. Next, we've got the Autumn Camouflage Zeltbahn poncho with this nice helmet that I got off United Bricks. So it's a special line of brick arms. They're available individually now, which is cool, those helmets. And then, I can't remember the name of these, apologies, but just sort of standard
German SS figures.
Another one here, Kar98 and some binoculars. They released a lot of variants of these, and I only managed to get 3 myself, this being the last, the WW43 version. But yeah, lots of variants of these are out there in the secondary market if you can get them. I'm sure they'll be a bit pricey just because of how limited the production run was. So it's nice to be able to have a few, if not all. And then back to World War I, we've got this American greatcoat minifigure. You can see there's some mud and snow on him. He was a fast pass exclusive minifigure for the Shindig event, but I managed to pick him up on the regular side because I imagine he wasn't so popular for whatever reason. Regular American World War I figure here as well to follow. And then another World War I figure. We've got this Australian infantry man. I do like this guy. I think the choice of head is pretty cool for a sort of World War I figure with the moustache. He's got the, I don't know what type of hat that is, but it seems to be the ones that the Australians wore in World War I, if they weren't wearing helmets, of course. And then lastly, we've got this World War I German medic. Really nice helmet camouflage. I was disappointed not to be able to get any more of the Germans from World War I, but it's not the end of the world. I'm sure they'll release more in future. And then back to World War II now. We've got a lot of these figures coming up. So just to run through quickly, the vest and polyspot dot 44. There we go, dot 44 camouflage on the legs. And then we have the STG 44 variant. We'll just run through these a little bit quicker. So we've got the SVT, I want to say, with the grenades there as well, and the binoculars. You will notice that a lot of the camouflage patterns are varied between these figures, the dot 44 ones that is, just to keep them unique. So yeah, this is the Kar98 with 2 bullet wounds. And then moving on, we've got this open jacket guy here, which, yeah, I think is a really nice looking figure. Next up, I'll just pick him up as is. We've got the machine gun assistant there with his magazine or ammunition chain draped around his shoulders. Then we've got the PPSH 41 version. I did manage to get all the variants of these, but there were quite a few, I think 17 in total, so not all of them have a head or a helmet, unfortunately. Then we've got the Kar98 version here, with the helmet that I actually painted. I'm not sure if you can tell, but yeah, it's quite a nice sort of field grey colour, which is hard to match in sort of purest Lego colours. So then we've got the WW 43 version, and then a medic, sadly with no head, an engineer again with no head, not too sure what this guy is, maybe a tanker of some sort. Yeah, I believe he is a tanker. Then we've got the military police with the MP40 pouches, actually opened as well, which is pretty cool. It's not something you see too often, so the more variety the better. Some sort of officer here with the binoculars, the MP40. You can tell it's an officer based on the sort of piping around his collar. So that's pretty cool. Pretty nice detail, which is nice that they've added. Same with this guy actually. Another, maybe it's a non-commissioned officer with the MP40 pouches there. Again, I'm sure a lot of you will know more about this than I do, so I appreciate leaving a comment just to add any corrections. This is a Shindig figure as well, winter medic. Unfortunately, I haven't got a medic's helmet for him, but not the end of the world. And then we're back to a couple Americans here. So we've got these 101st Airborne, which you can see based on the eagle there. There we go, it's focusing now. So this, I believe, is the M1 Garand version. And then we've got the Panzer Lehr version here as well. Only managed to get 2 of them, which was a shame, but hopefully they may be restocked already, I'll need to check. And then we have the re-releases of the M40 Germans, well, new release I should say. This has got the Splinter helmet and Splinter camouflage legs. And then for TMC, the last one is just the M40 with the rip connecting helmet and the gas mask, I believe that is, in the pouch. So this is an early war figure. So that's all the TMC figures, and then we'll just run through the United bricks. So we've got this M43 German with MP40 pouches, and then some nice detailing on the back. And then we have the M43 German with Kar 98 pouches on the front, similar detailing on the back as well. I have this figure twice actually, so you can see the second version just there. Same head, same helmet, same everything. This is an M40 German. This was actually the first minifigure that I picked up from United Bricks or TMC. So I've had this one for probably around 5 years now, but it's the MG Assistant, and you can kind of tell how far the companies have come in terms of their printing, even in the last 5 years. So the quality on this is great, but the detail is just not quite at the level that the modern figures are. So it's cool to have that as a kind of comparison point. Then we've got this oak leaf, perhaps, yeah, I believe it is an oak leaf poncho. So yeah, that guy's pretty cool. And then lastly we have this World War I German. Don't think it is a stormtrooper. It may be a stormtrooper, it may be an infantryman, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's the last minifigure that we have. And that is a wrap for this video. So if you've watched to the end, thank you so much for sticking with it. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment if you liked it. Drop a comment with feedback. Let me know what you'd like to see next on the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. Enjoy your day and take care.